At our meeting last night, which took place between the interval break of the COVID lockdown in 2021, at the Miners' Arms, with some of the men from the church I've been attending, the subject came up: how can we reconcile the sovereignty of God and the free will of man? My answer was one needs to define the term free will, and I said man has freedom of volition in that he can choose between one drink and another, or an apple and a pear, but that's not the meaning of free will in a theological sense. I stated that man has fallen from a state of innocence and is sinful and unable to act contrary to his fallen nature. Man is not free to delight himself in the things of God. His will is bound by a sinful nature until the Son of God sets him free, and that's by regeneration. Only then is he free to turn from sin, his sinful nature, and receive and believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and follow him. I said that he was bound by the chains of a sinful nature, that man was a sinner, and unless the Son of God set him free, or unless the Father draw him, he cannot even come to Christ. I said that this subject has been discussed throughout Europe since the Reformation, and ever since Tyndale translated the Bible from the Greek manuscripts to English. Only then were Christians able to read and discuss these things in the UK, and they did. In 1610, a group of men who were followers of Jacob Arminius published their views of salvation, which were against the views of man's inability to free himself and follow Christ and the ways of God. Jacob Arminius' views were opposed by the Dutch Reformed churches. As a result, the Synod of Dort in 1680 met to oppose the teaching of the Arminians, who were called the Remonstrants. The Dutch churches who opposed the Arminian doctrine were called Contra-Remonstrants, and as a result, the Synod of Dort published their findings. From this, there emerged the 5 points of Calvinism, known by the acronym TULIP, and deals with the subjects of the fall and total depravity of man, predestination in both providence, grace, election, justification, regeneration, effectual calling, particular redemption, and the perseverance of the saints. During this lockdown, I have been able to republish the Synod of Dort. And from our conversation at the Miners' Arms, I think it would be a good study and to take a look at all these 5 points. This is because one of the men at church preached a sermon on rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, and I thought a study on the subject of free will versus the bondage of the will would serve to this end. The Synod of Dort deals with many of the errors of the Arminians held by Christians today in the churches in the UK and abroad. These gospel gems are teachings of the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ, and I would note that any elder or one seeking to preach the gospel would need to be familiar with this subject in order to address these errors that are often held through ignorance. I am including a PDF copy of the Synod of Dort for your use. This has hyperlinks that accesses some videos. Also, at the back of the book, a publication list of recommended readings on the subject, and each book may be accessed as a PDF copy. For a hard copy paperback, you can obtain one from Amazon or Kindle. The PDF copy and the Amazon link are accessed by the hyperlink listed below this video.